Hi folks, welcome to this episode of Mahogany. What have we got in here? We've got gin, Campari, sweet vermouth. Looks as though we're going to be doing a Negroni. Let's swap these out though. Not regular Negroni, we are going to be doing a White Negroni. White Negroni, riff, invented by Wayne Collins back in 2001, I believe, visiting VinExpo, and he wanted to come up with a drink that was like a Negroni but actually used French ingredients, and this is how the White Negroni was born. I'm going to use gin. I think he actually worked for Plymouth Gin at the time. I'm going to be using the Glendale gin. I have been, as one can see here, I've been pretty partial to the Glendale whiskey. This is actually, if you haven't tried this, it's a really good Irish whiskey. Certainly been enjoying it, and the gin, giving that a shot as well. We've got gin, we've got Suze, which is going to be the replacement for the Campari. This is bitter. And then for the vermouth, we're going to be using Lillet Blanc. Okay? Alright. I'm going to do two of them. Slightly different ratios here. The original one was all equal parts, the same as what the original Negroni is. But it has been adapted over the years, and the one that we now know has a slightly different ratio. So I'm going to try the one with the ratio that you should get served when you're in a bar, and I'm also going to try it with what the original ratios was, just to see what the difference was. Why not? Just to give it a shot. Alright. Gin. Glendale gin. Ireland. Oh, getting the juniper kicked straight in there. Alright. Modern recipe. We are going to be using 1.5 ounces of gin. So we'll go for 1.5. The original one, we are just going to use 1 because it's going to be equal parts. You'll see where it will change here. Suze, French. I suppose I should have used a French gin, but I don't think I've got one around here just now. No, I don't. Suze is a bittersweet liqueur. Basis of this one is predominantly gentian root, which is used in other bitters. It's actually a primary ingredient in bitters that you probably know, such as Angostura or Peychaud's bitters, but even in drinks like Aperol as well. So you can check out many of the drinks that are out there, look up gentian root and what liqueurs and mixers, etc. it's in, and you'll get an idea of the flavour. So, bitter, definitely. It's got that tonic scent to it as well, just a little bit, quite earthy in there. Delicious flavour actually. I was tasting this earlier on. And the reason I say that is I have not been able to get my hands on this. I think it was only at around about, here's the colour. There you go, so that gives you a little bit of the idea of the colour there, a little bit yellow there. I don't think it was readily available in the US until around about 2011 or so. And I was reading that some of the bartenders who wanted to use this actually smuggled it into the country. A lot of people drink this neat, digestif. Let's give this a little flavour, give you a little, see what my perspective is just drinking this neat. It's actually pretty nice. Clearly just gentian root, sweet, earthiness, additional herbs in there, a little bit of greenness. It's difficult to actually, there's almost like a, I wouldn't say a numbingness, but it's I'm trying to work out how to explain this one. This is a tricky one, hold on. There's almost a mintiness in there as well. Very faint licorice aniseed, but very, very at the tail end. Kind of mintiness coming through now as I taste it more and more. And it's as though there's a, I wonder if it's that kind of mint. It's kind of, I'm not trying to say, it's not numbing, I'm trying to work out what it is, and I can't get it, actually. Anyway, that might just be the influence of gentian. That's actually pretty nice, neat. Okay, enough of that. So for the bitter ingredient, Suze, we are actually going to use, it's, was it 1.5, 1, so we're going to use 3/4 of this in the current ratio, and of course in the original it's equal parts, so we're going to put in 1 in there. Snowing outside actually while I'm making this one. It just made me think, what snow shouldn't you eat? Okay. Lillet Blanc, wine based liqueur, if you would call it a liqueur. Aperitif, definitely. French, sweet, it's good, just served neat, well chilled, and you'll certainly enjoy that. It actually says well chilled on there. Well, cheating a little bit. Okay, so for the original, this would be 1 ounce. I kind of did them back to the front because it's 1.5 gin, 1 ounce of Lillet Blanc, and 3/4 of the Suze, but we're doing it the other way around. So that's equal parts into that one. That's it. One of those 3 ingredient ones. Hopefully you can get your hands on the Suze. Lillet Blanc, you got Blanc, du Rosé, du Rouge as well. So you got the choice of all of those. Alright, let's get these chilled down, a little bit of dilution. Let's give this a little stir. I can't spin my bar spoon. Maybe I should practice that. 20 to 30 seconds there. Do the other one. You wonder, that was 20 to 30 seconds there. You're wondering why I was looking around. That's because I've done a crappy job in my mise en place. I don't have my strainer. I'm going to be back in 1 second. Oh, and here it is. Mise en place, what is it? French, put in place. Means just making sure you've got everything ready. You'll hear it about, you know, when people are cooking, baking, etc. Getting everything prepped so that you don't run around like a headless chicken while you're doing it because you didn't get it there in the first place. Alright, let's get these strained out. 1, 2. Keep it chilled, 1 cube. Or 1 ball. In this case I've got 2 balls. Alright, in we go. You're using the larger ice cube again, keep it chilled but controlling that dilution. That's number 1. Let's do number 2 here. And there we have it, 2 white Negronis, grapefruit or lemon peel. We'll twist in there, and little twist in here. Oh, alright, I'm looking forward to this one. I love this. I haven't had this one before either. So and I just got this yesterday, so that's why. Many great cocktails that you can use Suze in, and this is the first one that I've used this for. So here we go. Cheers. Gin's just there as a supporting act, I think, in this one, definitely. Lillet Blanc comes through sweet at the front end there, and then you've got that bitterness of the Suze coming at the back end. Nice light. It's not as heavy as the regular Negroni. It's not quite as bitter either. I'm just curious how the original recipe would actually have tasted, so let's give this a shot. I'm sorry, I'm gonna sing. I actually like the original. I think probably what I do though is, because it's got a higher ratio of the Suze to the gin, that bitterness is coming through a little bit heavier. I'd probably crank up the gin in this maybe by, I'd probably make this a 1.5, 1.5 gin, 1 Lillet Blanc and 1 Suze. I'm actually preferring this one because it's got a little bit more of that bitter kick, more than the Negroni, the regular Negroni. That's probably why I like that, is because I like the regular Negroni. But if you have somebody who is not as much into that bitterness and you want to introduce them to drinks like that, this is actually perfect. It's nice, it's light, it's refreshing. This one could be a summer drink as well, definitely. And the lemon just comes through at the top end there. Oh, that's great. And it's the beginning of my evening, so this is a great drink to start. Get the bitter ones out of the way, maybe move into sweeter ones later in the day. Alright, everybody, that was it. Short, sweet, bit bitter as well. Equally, you know, I'm a well-balanced person. I've got a chip on both shoulders. Cheap joke there. Anyway, everybody, enjoy your White Negronis. Cheers.